Happy New Year, everybody. I hope 2025 is treating you well so far. Still having difficulty writing 25 when I do write things. Do we write things anymore? I think we end up typing more than anything. We're using our thumbs to type on things, to actually take a writing utensil and a piece of paper and writing down something is something that not much of us or not many of us do a whole lot anymore of, but occasionally we do. So again, really appreciate you tuning in. Today's episode a little different. We'll get back to our guests. I've got a plethora of amazing guests coming up. I looked at my calendar and my schedule, and there was one day where I think I'm chatting with over six people, which is a little more than I normally do on a particular day. But I took the last couple months of 2024 off from recording, so it's going to happen. But I'm really anxious to get these interviews out to you because these are some all-star human beings just like you that are out there crushing it and doing some amazing things, and collectively we all can do that together. Because I am one to believe that the pie is bigger than any of us can all consume. So there's plenty of us to go after and really crush it and make our lives the absolute best. So just want to say thank you for that. Today, it's a new year, and we know that the holidays are over. Some of us might still have a holiday hangover. Some of us may have a financial holiday hangover coming because the credit card bills will be arriving in your mailbox soon if they haven't already started. And we've seen some stats that are very alarming and very scary about consumer debt, especially in the United States. We're in the trillions of dollars as far as consumer debt is concerned. 7 out of 10 Americans are struggling financially. And this has been going on for a while. We know that post-pandemic, the recession and inflation and all the things that we've been dealing with has really impacted some people in a really challenging way, from the cost of food, the cost of daycare, the cost of services, you name it, rent or interest rates. It's hard to live right now for a lot of people. They are paying a lot more than a third of their income towards rental. So you factor that in. They need a car because they have to have a car to get to work because where they live does not have reliable other alternatives that are affordable. Yes, we can all take Lyft and Uber, but there goes your paycheck if you do that every day. Public transit is non-existent in many parts of the country, and I wish that was different. Europe does it. Parts of Canada does it, but if you're in rural America, not likely to see a bus or a subway line coming through your neighborhood anytime soon. Not saying that we need to, but just an observation. But the problem is you have to have a car. Cars are expensive. Gas is expensive. Insurance is expensive. I can go on and on. Everything costs a lot. And unfortunately, our salary increases have not increased to the level uh, that the cost of things have. And that's why a lot of people are not doing well. And it reminds me, and I was just on a call before I hit record on this with somebody, and I talked about stress and burnout, and it's one of the alleyways that I hang out in from time to time, as you know. But when I had my burnout journey back in 2009 and lost everything, nearly died, the whole thing. If you don't know that story, just go pick up my book Burnout Proof, or go to the website, send in information. I'll send you an email or a PDF copy of it, no charge. Happy to do that. Just yeah, breakfastleadership.com/burnout book. There, I'll make it easy for you. I'll put that in a link in the show notes as well. But when I had my burnout journey, the financial stress was the worst. And a lot of people always look at me and they say, "How is that worse than the cardiac event that nearly killed you?" Why was the financial so bad? Because, and I've said this before on interviews, and I'm probably have written about this before, but I don't think many of us like paying bills, but I am pretty sure that most of us like the ability to pay bills. And when you're financially struggling and you can't pay your bills, boy, does that mess with your psyche. Affects your mood, affects your sleep, affects your relationships, your productivity at work, you name it. Right? Looking at that phone and dreading that collection call, or going to the mail and seeing that letter in the mail, and you know what's in it. It just eats at your gut. Um, I'm not guessing this because I know that's what it feels like because I went through it. So when I see people going through this, I see 7 out of 10 Americans struggling with debt, and the average debt of the American household is over $100,000. That's a lot. It can seem like a mountain, and you didn't bring your hiking boots. You're like, I don't think these Skechers are gonna make it up that hill. So for me, when I see people struggling with that, it again, it triggers me. I'm being completely upfront and honest here. It does bring back some very, very dark memories and times, but thankfully, I know that it's thankful not happening to me, but I know it's happening to many of you, and that breaks my heart, and I don't want it to be that way for you. So in doing that, I did a lot of research and like, okay, what can I do about this? Obviously, write about it, talk about it on the show, post articles, share, whatever resources I can to help people address this. You know, Short of you winning the Powerball, which only one person or a small group of people win that at a time, the odds of that happening for you are not good. So that's not a good plan. And it'd be nice if it happened, I guess, but I wouldn't plan on that to help you. I looked around for parties or organizations that could help people. So I did find an organization, and I'll have it linked in the show notes. But what they do is they work with individuals and with organizations as well. We'll get to that in a moment. But they work with individuals to see if there's a way to address your debt, the unsecured debt. So student loans, credit card bills, um, those payday loan places, car payment. There's a variety of different things. And again, the link will have uh, a site where you can look and see the different types of debt that they can work with. But this is a no obligation thing. You can line up a call with one of the advisors, and they can go through your situation. And if you've got more than $7,000 of unsecured debt, which based on the American household, there's a good chance that 7 out of 10 of you do, and you're not able to keep up. There may be some options for you to help. So that's why I've partnered with this organization to hopefully help people. For me, I don't want to see people struggle because if you can breathe and you've got a little extra elbow room and you don't have to second guess or worry about buying that cup of coffee this morning, or something happens. One of the stats I saw is most Americans, if they have a $400 emergency that pops up, there's a good chance they're not going to be able to pay for it right now. That scares me. And again, I've been there. I know what that feels like. It is a horrible, horrible feeling, and I don't want that for anybody. So that's why I took it upon myself to go, okay, I need to do something about this. I cannot stand by on the sidelines. This is a component of burnout. This is a component of retention in organizations. This is a component of families falling apart. This is a component of all kinds of different things. I cannot stand by and let this happen. So, there will be a link in the show notes, and click on it. You can book a no obligation, doesn't cost you anything to take the call. The advisor will go over things with you and be able to walk you through some things. Now, if you're an organization and you know that some of your employees, or maybe many of them, are dealing with these things, and based on the stats, 7 out of 10 Americans are struggling financially. That means, on average, 7 out of 10 of your employees are going through this. So if you're an HR director or an owner of a business or something like that, and you've got, a small team of 20 plus employees, reach out to me. I'll put a link in there for organizations to reach out to me, and just we'll have a brief chat to kind of get an understanding, because this particular benefit, when it is geared towards companies, is an employee benefit that is no cost to the employer. So it doesn't cost you anything. It's not like paying for the EAP program as an add-on to your insurance benefits for your employees. For employers, there's no cost for you to roll this out as an option and a benefit to your employees. So in the show notes, again, I'll have a link for you can reach out to me on that, because healthy employees are productive. They stay. They don't leave. We know the stats. Anybody that's lost team members knows how it impacts your business and how long it takes for you to get somebody in there to replace the person. So you're replacing a human with another human. Okay, that can be done rather quickly depending on what you're doing. But getting that person up to speed and productive to do the things that person left knew how to do, that can take a long time. And the higher up the ranks you go, the longer it's going to take. So retention is the sweet spot and the secret sauce, quite frankly, for your organization to remain healthy, grow, expand, and do the things that we need your organization to do. Because we know the small business is the heart and soul of our country. Without it, we don't have what we have. So we need to make sure that we support each other and help each other out. So again, I appreciate you. Like I said, check in the show notes. If you're watching the video, make sure that and apologies, so as I turn off this alarm on my watch, but make sure that you reach out. If you're watching the video, there'll be the links in below. Reach out to me, and I hope that 2025 is your best year yet. So thanks again for being a part of all of this. Appreciate you. Be well.